you started the last one. We have
I suppose that's true. Yeah. We
So I start this one.
Yeah, you said you have.
I know what you say.
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of Frankenstein. He's one of the strangest tales ever told. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. Well, we've warned you.
You have been warned. I know, I didn't stress the have.
No, that's fine. You put your own spin on it. That's great.
All right.
Maybe do Ben.
You have been warned. You have been warned. Whatever. You know what you've done. You've done been warned.
Well, welcome.
Welcome back to the Frankenstein Minute.
The podcast that, you see, now you got me all dissects the Frankenstein film series minute by minute. I'm Tom Lang.
I'm Tom Bell.
I'm Dino Stamatopoulos.
And I'm Bill Evenson.
And we have with us, for the very first time, special guests.
That's right.
We couldn't be happier to have you. This is great.
Because you were on ours and we made you have us on.
That's right. They strong-armed us into...
That was the deal.
Yeah.
That was the deal.
Yep. Yeah, no, we're glad.
Although, forewarning, I know very little about any minute of Frankenstein.
Although I think you know something that none of us, I didn't know earlier, and I bet you don't know.
When I heard we were coming, I researched a little bit, and
okay.
I think I might know a fun fact that you don't know.
I say lead with it, because I don't know if you guys know, this is minute 71.
This is the last minute.
It's the last minute. It's not even a full minute. I can play it. We ordinarily play it. Yeah, I'll play it, but there's time.
It's kind of a theme show because we got here the last minute.
That's right. See?
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. That's great. No, the last minute. Well, should I just play it? Or I was going to describe it, but I can certainly skip ahead.
You brought a clip.
I brought a clip. All right. You'll cut all this out, right?
No. This is gold.
Okay.
I'm not on a podcast where you cut anything out.
Oh, that's very
true. So we're legally bound not to cut anything.
All right, now here's the thing.
Yeah.
We're going to have to make sure we have...
All right, here we go.
Ready?
The exciting last minute.
This is the last minute of Frankenstein.
Wait a sec, really?
Yeah, that's it. It's the exit music.
Man, I'm leaving.
Oh, no.
I
told you we should have done this.
You feel cheated now?
Well, Tom's whole thing is about the credits. You
well,
already talked about the credits.
I feel like we're all on an even playing field now. I know about as much about
that. Was the idea. That was the idea.
What is that?
But the thought was we can talk about anything.
Yeah,
because the movie's over. So,
but what is that music? Do you know?
Well, I referenced it in the last episode. I have to run down the hall
grab your
to get my
cards.
notes, but it's just a generic arpeggiato.
For you, let's not get a little bit over generic.
He's going to edit it, so he sounds great.
No, don't edit it.
It's I'll take the clip from last. Put it in here.
No question.
No, I really want Rick at the classic horror film site to be bored during this. I want him something to write about angrily.
There we go.
Then we've not said a bad word.
No, I know.
We did get a little bit of back and forth with one guy. I can't remember which guy it was, but Rick has always been really good.
Rick's great. Rick's
been
great.
Good. Yeah. So what is the fact that
if you want Rick to be bored,
there we go.
lead with my thing.
I think Rick's going to like this. This is all for you.
This is for Rick.
This whole podcast. This one.
Actually, the entire 11 years.
Yeah,
is
for Rick. Well, Rick did say he's worried that he won't live.
Well, that's right.
Hey, look,
Yeah,
I'll die before Rick does.
All right. Well, this fact, I'm trying to think of the best way to frame it here. Should I list the films and then I don't want to give it away. You know the facts.
Yeah. Do it as a quiz. What's?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Remember?
We have time for a quiz.
But
no, go ahead.
I'm your lawyer. Whisper in my ear.
We'll allow it.
Yeah.
You want to phone a friend?
Let's
no
put
problem.
The Jeopardy music here.
Let's make sure we can't.
No. You say what?
Why don't you frame it and I'll give the
answer. Okay. What is what makes Frankenstein, the movie Frankenstein, stand apart from these movies that Tom's going to list.
And it's a credit. It's about the credits.
I wasn't going to go.
Although
that
it's
far.
it's not about the final. It's not about the end credit.
The opening
That's a
credits?
hint.
Yeah,
That's a hint that I should have. But whatever. It's about the credits, not the end credits. Okay.
It's about the opening.
Okay. So the movies would be Frankenstein,
Okay.
Bride of Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Wolfman, Dracula, and The Invisible Man.
What makes it stand apart? What is it?
Specifically
about
Wow.
Frankenstein.
Okay, so here's what it isn't. It isn't the Universal logo at the beginning because you
Because
said
you
Dracula.
said Dracula, and that is
Right, exactly.
It's
It
not
isn't- it
probably
also isn't-
Junior because he's involved in all of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't thought that there might be another thing.
I know. There's probably several.
Now I'm sweating.
It also isn't anything to do with opening music because
They all had strains of opening. But well, it was composed specifically for Frankenstein.
Should I be more specific?
we don't have it.
Yeah,
we don't know
we
it.
don't got
Okay,
it.
You've
I'll
stumped
give it,
us.
I'll
The
give it a
podcast-
little more hint. It's specifically about the title. The title.
The actual title of the
Oh, does
movie.
it have the quotation marks around it?
I don't think
I
so.
don't-
It does.
That's not my thing.
If it is, it's not his thing.
Okay.
It's-
all right.
Is it font related?
It's only going to get more boring.
It's font related.
Comic
A little
Sans,
font.
It is font related. It's the only one with lowercase letters.
Oh,
Was that right?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you learned it here, folks.
And
Holy cow.
and we were
Boom.
we were
Yeah.
If you had listened to last week's podcast, I went into detail about the font.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the lowercase and uppercase and capitalization.
But that never
I had no
once,
idea.
never once
Yeah.
came up.
Now we did see
Very
the
nice.
Phantom of the Opera. The only lowercase in the Phantom of the Opera is the article.
Oh,
the.
okay.
Yeah. But so we couldn't say any universal
That's the
horror
you
movie.
talking the Cheney one or the
The Cheney one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I think. I hope.
It's not the Claude Rains
Claude Rains
one.
or
Now I don't know.
I forget.
Was it a
But
crawler?
anyway, it's the only one with lowercase apart from the article.
Yeah.
The.
All right.
Or
But I didn't list that one, so shut up. I didn't list it.
Oh, that's true.
Phantom of the Opera. No, you didn't list it.
Oh yeah.
It's not really technically part of the monster cycle anyway.
Oh no, you're going there.
Yeah.
Oh!
I'm going there because it wasn't.
It's also musicals.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mainly a musical, but then there's also
And color. Forget
There's
it.
more
it's all
opera than
screwed up.
Phantom.
I never
so
got through that movie. to
I
tell you the truth.
barely can make it.
I've
yeah.
seen it once, but like now you get the box set. And
You
it
just, it's
I can't
It's
get
there.
past it.
it might not have the movie on it.
Tom can't get past the lowercase stuff. I'm just repeating your joke.
Thank you. I stepped on it. So
yeah, so that's good. We got that. Well, that's interesting. I guess I can see it in my head now that it is in lowercase. It is Comic Sans.
Dracula, do you see that in your head?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
all upper
You know, the
case.
thing about Dracula is we did that commentary, so we took the screenshot of the title and put it on
In the graphic.
whatever, the graphics.
Yeah.
So
Oh no, the graphic I use is from the real art re-release trailer.
that's what I meant.
where it does that. Kind of makes a bat shape.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't
So
use
what's
the
the
one from the film itself. I used
Is the original one all lowercase?
No, it's all it's in Braille. It's the weirdest thing.
So you talked about the font. Now, I thought when I saw it, the font was actually kind of cartoony.
Yes, the main title.
Kind of.
Oh, the main
kind of
title
balloony
font
cartoon,
is
yeah.
terrible. We talked about the fact that when we got together to do the podcast, Tom was going to do the graphic design for it, obviously, because that's
what I do.
lean into your strengths. And the one thing we talked about, I said, whatever we do, don't use that one title font that's so terrible.
Yeah, we agree.
Couldn't remember where I'd even seen it until it's on episode 2. Or
Well, you couldn't. You were trying to remember where it was from.
Yeah.
You thought it was on the DVD, the packaging, or printed on the disc. And
Yeah.
I said, no, it's the main title itself.
That's right.
Look, I just got a text from a woman, and look what it is.
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
It's-
Somebody knows you very well.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it's a Bride of Frankenstein. It looks like a Billiken figure. I'm very into the
Yes,
old Japanese
I think
model
so. With
kits.
their fingers laid
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And there's a Son of Frankenstein behind. I don't know where that's from though.
Son of Frankenstein looks like the Diamond Select action figure.
I almost said that.
Oh, really?
Tom and I looked at each other. We were about to
You
say
guys were gonna, not gonna let me have that one.
All
All right, sorry.
No.
I'm derailing.
It's
with monsters.
Frankenstein
Yeah,
related. It
stuff.
wasn't like, it was...
And this is sort of, you said the segue might be the segue into Bride?
Yeah, it's sort of wrapping up Frankenstein and then segueing into Bride.
Preparing us. A little.
Yeah.
Where was that film in production? Like when this film ended, do you think they were already thinking about the
Oh,
next?
of course they were. As soon as they got the first box office numbers back, they were.
It was called Return of
It
Frankenstein,
was
right?
called Return of
The box
Frankenstein.
office returns of Frankenstein.
Yeah, that's the one that Gene Wilder mentions.
Is it really?
No, it's
Oh.
not. I gotta look and find out.
Yeah,
No,
you keep talking about it. It's
We
right.
never figured it out.
Well,
We
it's
finally
You
just
just
wanted
gotta
to-
lazy.
listen to the commentary.
Just too lazy to go back and look at it. It's, I think it's in one of the documentaries on the Blu-ray or something. Where
Yeah.
he lists his inspirations, and one of them doesn't.
It probably
exist.
is Return of Frankenstein. That sounds right.
It could be. But yeah, they wanted a sequel right away. Universal, of course. James Whale wanted nothing to do with it. They did other things in the meantime. They went right into the old Dark House. Karloff then went from the old Dark House right to the Mummy. He was a busy guy after 1931. He was no slouch in 31. He's like 14 films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember if you guys mentioned this in all the other episodes. I call them episodes.
Yeah,
That's right. We call them, right?
Yeah.
The Richard J. Beale, how do you pronounce him? That book.
Oh yes. I did. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
I have that
either.
book.
Right.
Yeah, the frame blow
And
up.
did you mention that he disses?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know I heard it, but
Yeah, he
because we were talking about Richard J. Because we were talking about the Marx Brothers.
Wyatt Duck.
Duck. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tom has that book still.
Oh yeah, I still.
Oh, that one. Now I know. I
Now
finally
you
know
know
what
what
you're talking about.
about.
That's what I know him from. That
Yeah.
book is a
Yeah.
hell of a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. You know,
He
put
did
him
one.
out of business. Video put him out of business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a whole niche market there that was
Yeah.
completely destroyed when home video came in.
But yeah, I even as a kid, I was like, "What are you talking about? This is
I know.
an amazing movie."
I could never figure it out. His point is that.
So I don't, what did he say?
He said Whale is a very. I'm paraphrasing. It's been years since I've read it. That Whale was a very pedestrian director. Flory would have done a much better
that's
job.
that guy,
And I
yeah.
think history tells us the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Flory, if you look at what Flory made as his consolation prize, I don't think he would have made a better Frankenstein at all.
Yeah, that guy's still alive. I wanted to email him. And
Is he around?
yell
Oh,
at
yeah?
him. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you do, give me his email address. I'll
yell at him.
His barrage.
One day.
When I was a kid, I wish there was something like the internet.
Yeah, it's like they yell
Grab
at
you by the lapels, sir. Teach you a thing or two about directing.
Did you say Karloff did 14 films? in
He
one
did,
year?
he
How
did.
is that possible?
He had done like maybe 80 to 100 or something
I think
before
Sarah-
Frankenstein.
Yeah, Sarah.
Averaged 14.
This is like the silent movie era and early sound. They would do
Just
like
crank these.
something-
The studios would
I
put
see.
out several dozen a week.
But you were saying 1931.
Yeah, just in 31 he did 14 films.
before Frankenstein.
No, Frankenstein was in there.
When did Frankenstein shoot? It was late in the
And we
year,
just
right?
talked about it was in August
Sorry.
through October.
Okay.
But the October, I'm guessing, included the
That's right,
reshoots.
August through October, and it comes out in November.
Comes out in November.
Amazing.
Yeah,
All those process shots are all done in.
yeah. Fulton had his hands full there.
And then he must have done
Well,
a
the
couple.
Scarface
movies
came out after Frankenstein.
That's the only one I can think of.
And there's stuff. He wasn't huge immediately, of course, so he just punched out of Frankenstein and punched into something
Really? Do you
else.
think so? I would have taken so much of a break after that.
I would have
Like,
too,
just 'cause
but
I'd
he-
be exhausted.
I would
Doing a
too.
27-hour podcast.
Yeah, I'm not going to do another podcast for another. Oh,
shoot. Don't tell
dear. I don't know. We're just chatting. The microphone
lunch.
is just
Oh,
a decoration. It's not really recording. Are
that microphone is sucking my blood right now.
you going to do that again next year?
We were talking about watching it 27 hours straight and doing commentary for it.
That's good. I like that. That's
So
cool.
we're just like a little box in the corner.
Yeah, or you could do like
talking about it.
you're not a fan, but you could do the Mystery Science Theater and just silhouette yourselves in the,
Yeah.
on the screen. So they wanted the sequel right away, and their scripts came and went and treatments and stuff. What I understand is that James Whale really wanted to make Showboat. It was sort of a dream project.
Which he
And-
did.
Which he did, but Lemley Jr., who was the production manager at Universal, said, okay, we'll let you make that if you make the sequel to Frankenstein. And he's like, all right, I'll make the sequel to Frankenstein, but only if I can make it exactly how I want to make it. Go for it. And it is the craziest movie.
Yeah.
It's just, we watched it actually last night. It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good film.
I forget which his film historian said this. I think it was Greg Mack. He said, and I always paraphrase him. It's like sitting and having dinner with James Whale. It's just you feel him there with you. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
It
weird.
is.
So I kind of wonder how much we want to talk about Bright, but I think it's fine. We repeat ourselves.
We'll forget
Like,
what we said.
You guys both, I think, mentioned Una O'Connor.
Yeah.
When
Oh, yeah.
we did the Yawn of the Dead Halloween podcast, which is, 2 months ago now?
It will be by the time this,
2 months.
I don't even think
Back on Halloween.
I don't even think it was during my lifetime.
But, and as you mentioned, we watched it again last night, and I'm like, I love Una O'Connor. I mean, I get why you don't like Una O'Connor, and half the time I watch it, I don't like it.
It's mostly that moment where the monster's standing next to her and she's mugging really.
I love that because I like Una O'Connor and Dino does not because of that moment. It's like she just went a little too far that one time, like he was tolerating her for the rest of the
Look,
and then she does that one thing.
She's
and
not
it's just like,
100%. She's not 100% to blame. I mean, Whale had to have been somewhere around there.
Yeah, and he left it in the film.
Well, and that's what I think. I think I'm taking that ride with Whale. He left that in the film.
Do you think that was just a fuck you to the first film?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know why that's a fuck you to the first film, because the monster's menace is
all the acting.
He's just standing there. I mean, he would have.
But
he kills that first guy for no reason.
and he kills his wife for no reason. Yeah, she helps him out of the.
If it was about the screaming, Una screams way more.
Yeah, it is.
Come on,
it's hard to find the motivation.
There's no motivation for him to just stand there,
so
except that Whale told him just stand there while she does her thing.
As much as
So
I
I never
love the
thought-
score,
oh.
I was going to say, as much as I love the score, it has that sort of Mickey Mousey music under
Right,
it.
it's
It's goofy cartoon music under it too. So the whole.
So you watched that movie
Yeah.
where Dr. Pretorius takes out little
Yeah.
tubes, and
The
there's
little
little
homunculi.
people dancing around in there, and all of that is fun.
Yes.
The ballet dancer is
Absolutely.
dancing within
Thank you.
Well,
just this much
yeah,
space.
why-
No problem with that.
What
But the monster
what
stays behind
problem
me.
do you have with Dr. Pretorius that they? That you could. God, what problem do you have? I'm
Okay,
flustered.
so let's be clear on this. Dr. Pretorius is one of my favorite characters in movie history,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
throw that out of there.
Well, yeah.
But
Finally, you got our argument. Tom wanted.
it only took a couple of months. But no, that film that has that sort of cartoony stage scene that goes on for, I don't know, 10 minutes.
I know.
It's not
I
that
know.
long.
It's, well, whatever. The point is,
But it's totally in Pretorius's character.
It
to
fits
do something
within
like
that universe that Whale has.
You
created.
can't argue that it doesn't fit.
okay, I see what you mean. If you're talking about the character of the monster and the character of Pretorius,
Right.
yes, everybody's consistent until that moment.
Until that one moment where the monster.
I
is
can't
taking a rest.
I can't explain that moment.
You can't just kill. In fact, that's it. He doesn't kill anybody after that. I'm just throwing it out there.
He
Yes,
does
he
in the
does.
uncut version.
Yeah, he killed. Yeah, well, he does. I mean, I don't know if he's dead, but he whomps that guy over the head. That Minnie tells, shoot him, and everybody runs off. The guy stands there with his gun. He's cocking it. And the monster clomps him on the head.
Yeah, we don't
And
know.
keeps walking. It's not like he even cares about that guy.
Yeah,
I don't
that
think
guy
he
was-
cares about anyone he kills, really.
Yeah.
Is he just a killer? Is this this is minute 71 of Frankenstein, and what we've learned is the monster is a
No,
No,
I
no.
think he's killing for a
No,
reason.
I think we'll get that in another 75 episodes or more. That
Oh
he's
yeah,
just a brute. and
that's
a-
true. Son of
when we
Frankenstein
get to
is
Son of
about a
Frankenstein,
monster.
that's pretty much all he is.
He's a tool.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. I'll steal it
Thank
when
you.
we do that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's even a killer there. I think he's
He's like a puppet for Igor.
yeah.
Yeah.
And who knows what happened to his brain at that point.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Well, he had an accident, as Igor says, and we don't know
Yeah.
what that accident was.
Tom is really lost.
We're sorry.
When you guys get back to fonts, let me know.
So Tom, you have to be familiar with this because you said brain, and it's something that we argue about frequently. The monster has a criminal brain because Fritz dropped.
Yeah, I know that. I get
There
it.
was like two brains. One said kick-ass brain,
Right.
or super awesome brain,
Right.
and the other one said terrible brain. And he dropped the one and put the other one in there. And I contend that it heightens things for the film. James Whale did this on purpose because it's just one more.
It's a shortcut too in a film, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like the novel where you could have the monster. They took their time.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Shelley took her time with the monster's character.
Yeah,
this was a 71-minute film, and 70 minutes really. This minute
doesn't really
go
count.
Yeah, I hate
Fuck
that.
you, minute 70.
It's just a black screen.
If we're pissed at somebody, we have them guessed on this minute. No. But further, just to say, Tom's argument is, well,
Can I give my argument? Oh, no, you can give it for me.
Well, no, I don't like your argument. I'll give mine.
My argument is that it doesn't need that. It's a gimmick that it doesn't need. It doesn't need the criminal brain.
I think I think it heightens the audience's anticipation.
I'm sure.
At the beginning, I think it works.
It's a little at odds with Whale's interpretation of the character and Karloff's because he's so childlike and he gets just shat upon time and time again.
Well,
then he becomes this killer.
Well, that's one of the reasons he's shat upon. I'm sorry,
No, it's not.
He's shat upon before he's born. I think that's the thing that we've talked about. Is it
maybe it's a red herring?
I'm agreeing with Bill. I think he's exactly right. I think that I always thought, I never read the book, but I always thought watching the film that when he takes the genius brain, drops that and then has to use the killer brain or the thief or whatever it is, the criminal brain. Mm-hmm. That just said to me, okay, he has no chance. He's not going to be a genius. He's not going to be a person that can walk and talk with you. He's going to be a monster. That's what I always thought.
But then we see in Bride that he actually
can talk
has some sensitivity.
He has some humanity in him, and I think that.
And that's to his credit.
But that was just my thing.
I
think it's a shortcut.
What is a red herring? Am I using it correctly?
A red herring is where you present a thing that could be the problem, but it's not actually.
Exactly, that's
and
what
I think
the
you're right.
criminal brain is.
You're right.
It could be.
I'll accept that as a red. It could be a red herring. Yeah. I still like it as a strike against the monster. That's not his fault.
All right.
So what's the story of the monster? The monster is born into a world that's not his fault. All that.
Yeah.
For it to be a
same as everyone.
Right.
But of course, when you get into Bride of Frankenstein, there's even more thought that he's crucified in that film.
Yeah, like literally.
Yeah. Or maybe...
For it to be a red herring, it has to have nothing to do with his behavior.
Right, and that's what
you're saying. You're suggesting it has nothing to do with his behavior.
Yeah.
I think that's not the impression I got.
He's not a brutish killer in this film. He's
with that little girl, And
he plays with her, and when he kills her by accident, he is crestfallen. He can't.
But still,
he looks at his hands and he's wringing his hands like, "What did I just?"
Like, what do they want you to think when you see criminal brain? What do they want you to think? They want you to think he's a mindless brute.
A mindless brute that could be capable of moments of tenderness, but is going to revert back to his mindless brutishness.
Yeah, I don't think that tenderness thing is what they want you to think when you see criminal brain.
No, but that's what they want you to have in the back of your mind when he's interacting with that little girl.
Exactly, red herring.
They're like, he's
a
ticking time bomb, and he's with.
See, I'm not on any of that. To me, it's you can take a criminal brain and put it into somebody's body, and that doesn't make you a criminal. I think we can agree on that, right? Yeah. Unless the brain is severely deranged.
So
then
we should be clear.
I'm going to use the word red herring a million times, but it is a red herring. Now that I know what it means exactly.
Well, except in as much as he is assumed to be a brutish killer, but we've seen it over 71 episodes now that his murders are justified, at least in this film. All of them.
Yeah. What is the label that's on the jar?
Abnormal brain.
Abnormal.
It says abnormal.
But to your credit, but the doctor says criminal brain.
Yes, that's right.
He says, the brain has a life of.
I mean, he really shits on the guy.
Yeah,
the guy could have been a pickpocket.
No, he shits on.
No.
Yeah.
He lets loose with
lived a life of brutality.
murder.
Come on, red herring.
It's a total.
Come on.
The monster tries to.
Well, I mean, he's saying
what? Whether it says it on the jar or he says it still could be a red herring.
I guess. Yeah.
Please.
Here's the thing, though.
We just bug.
Here's the thing, though, is as we started doing the podcast, my wife and I would watch like Forensic Files and all that kind of stuff. One of them talked about how there is a physical difference between a good and a bad brain. And
I'm not
I
buying
didn't really
it.
look into it, so I don't know. It could be just a lot of horseshit.
I'm not buying into it. I'm just going to finally come out and say it. It's like being gay, right? So the monster is given a strike against him. You're supposed to be judging the monster left and right.
We have talked
And-
about
and-
that because of James Whale.
and because of James Whale. So the monster, you're supposed to judge him. You're supposed to prejudge him, or maybe we're not supposed to as the audience, but certainly
There's certain
everybody else
characters within
does.
the film.
And what we see in the film is that that's not fair.
Okay, there you go.
There isn't such a thing as a criminal.
There you go. Then yeah, so we're
So it's
we're
sort of like
backing
the
up.
red hair.
Yeah.
So, wait, what was the last thing you said? It's not true. Did you say there was no such thing as a criminal brain?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's my contention.
That's
if there is such a thing as a criminal
Yeah.
brain, I probably haven't. You know, and I,
Sure,
and I
sure.
wouldn't say I've lived a life of brutishness
So
or whatever
brutality
the
and
fuck
So
it
you
says.
think it's a commentary on the science of the time?
That partially, sure.
That's interesting.
But don't trust him. He just said he probably has a
Yes,
criminal
he did.
brain.
His life was one of the what it is in all reality is a leftover remnant of Robert Florey's original script.
That's definitely true.
I think that's why I have a little bit of an issue with it, is that it doesn't
I see. Well,
fit in James Whale's version of it. Because
I think he probably said, Florey's an idiot, but he stumbled on this. Inspector Clouseau'd his way into a good idea.
that and the windmill, yeah.
So at this point,
So I think we keep going.
I'm thrilled with how this is going. I'm happy to do whatever, but I don't know if we want to, because we're planning on doing two separate things this minute, and then we're going to do a separate bonus episode. I think I told you about it. I hope I told you about it.
Oh.
I got all the minutes, and I'm ready to load them up and just play a random minute, and then we talk about it.
Well, that's fine, but I think there's still, we can stay
Absolutely.
on this a little longer.
Yeah.
I would like to anyway.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And keep all this in.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Probably. Keep it.
I don't know. You're
Where's the
pretty
dog?
tight.
Yeah.
I did cut out a lot of the dog.
I left the dogs in.
No, in other episodes you could hear the dog
I got
really
whining. I don't know what they're doing.
We were we were trying to find just the right
We were
situation.
gonna
The dog was actually in with us for a while, and of course everything's fine. But then the dog wanted to play ball, and the dog loves to squeeze the little squeaky ball.
yeah.
So I did cut that part
Either.
out, but I left in where she's crying outside the door. Then he went and cut.
Every
a
time
bunch
it
of
cries,
that.
you should just yell, Bruno! Bruno! Does anybody get that?
I did a second
I thought you meant
No.
Blucher.
No?
No, it's from Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. When the dog's barking.
Oh,
I thought it was from
oh,
a dog.
wow, there you go. There's a
We might
deep
get
cut.
that.
Nice.
That's very
Nice. Very nice.
Now you're appearing on that minute. Finally, slice that
We'll
up.
call you up and put you on. Whether you want to be or not.
No,
It
you've
just
already got
proves
it.
that I'm the biggest nerd, and I should never
Goodness.
sleep with a woman again.
It was.
You
You know,
say that, and you said that the other day,
Yeah.
but we're as nerdy, and we both have
Take offense to
healthy.
Hey, wait a minute.
No, I don't take offense to it.
I take offense to it.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you say you're as nerdy as that.
Oh, sorry. All right, okay, we're
not
almost
nerdy enough.
we're
Have you seen the
almost-
shirt?
Yeah, I mean, really.
Yeah, you're pretty.
And I wore this actually on the first day.
29 from Outer Space T-shirt for all you folks at home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were
but
21
it's behind.
and it's
And-
blocked by the.
And the shirt, what would you call that shirt, Tom?
The vest, you mean?
Yeah.
The vest is
Oh, it's not a vest, is it?
Shirt.
it's not a movie poster vest, but it's a
It's
it's
a
not a vest,
montage of.
it's a montage
or
of sort of.
collage, I guess.
It looks like a vest, but it's
Oh,
not a
well,
vest.
it's like a bowling shirt.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh.
call it, a bowling shirt. Yeah.
Actually, we saw
pretty
this
nerdy.
at Halloween Town. They had other things made
Oh,
of
yeah,
this exact
that's
same
right.
fabric.
Our whole trip has been. Anytime you send us a thing, we go to
Just
that.
go do it.
We went to
did that.
Halloween Town too. Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, my God, I almost just sat on the
Well, I texted them while we were there. I was like, they're going to love this place.
Okay, so yeah, we spent a decent amount of time there. But you notice on the design, it's Karloff,
Boris Karloff.
generic vampire, and generic wolfman. So apparently, I don't know if that does that indicate. You said so. What does that mean? And I think you were trying to say Karloff is the definitive Frankenstein
Yes.
or something like that.
Yes.
I think it just indicates
I
he's
think-
more litigious.
No, I think they really wanted a vampire with fangs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true too.
All of the latest things that Universal's putting out, toy wise or masks or whatever, they're these generic faces.
What's the first vampire movie where the vampire had fangs? Well, I guess
Nosferatu, for
Nosferatu.
sure.
But I mean, like canine fangs.
Probably Horror of Dracula.
Yeah.
Yeah,
58.
58.
So yeah, that was something.
Or,
Also, Cheney Jr. in Son of Dracula, he just had the mustache.
Mhm.
He didn't have the
Didn't have
fangs.
fangs.
Why do
No.
you think they didn't give him fangs?
I don't know if they just couldn't figure out how to do it right, or if they.
Right.
I mean, in Dracula, I can see it because everything is tiptoed around so carefully.
Yeah.
They're so afraid to show. They don't even show a wolf running across the front yard.
Yeah, and then by Dracula's daughter, the Hays Code came in.
Yeah, that was what I was going to lead up to. Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, John, I forgot his name. John Carradine.
Carradine, yeah.
That wouldn't have worked, I guess,
It wouldn't have
with
worked
what he
with
was trying to
Carradine.
do.
I don't know what he was trying to do sometimes. I like Carradine in those house movies.
He's fine. I just miss Bella.
Yeah, he's fine.
We've decided that's a Frankenstein minute term because I say it all the time.
Says it a lot. It's fine. What he'll do, it's great. But what he'll do is he'll trash something, and as he's talking it through out loud, by the end of it, I say, "Oh, it's fine."
It's not that bad. Well, it is a problem to analyze these movies, especially at this level of ridiculousness.
Psychotic
because
level,
I can trash John Bowles all I want, but it's fine.
Right.
Clearly, I
I'll
love the
still
movie.
watch it and I'll still love it.
No, I don't think Bowles is fine.
Yeah, Joe Bowles is not fine. No, that is
Not
something.
in that movie.
That is
No,
something I thought we would
he's
probably.
decent in some other things we talked about the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He's in that
Temple.
Shirley Temple thing or whatever.
He's in a couple Shirley Temple movies, some westerns. He could acquit himself well. He was not a leading man in movies for no reason.
Yeah.
He had some talent. I just think he's way out of his element in this. He has no idea what's going on around him.
But to the point where he doesn't seem to. Some scenes, it really, literally looks like he doesn't understand how.
I've
Oh,
been in
that's a
movie,
situations
isn't it?
like that.
Absolutely, that's what I'm
You
saying.
might have been up 27 hours.
So, like, there's that scene where Henry's passed out and they put him in the bed or whatever. And I think I'm sure we talked
Oh,
about
yes,
it during
we
that
talked about
minute.
detail.
Bowles is, like, looking at everybody as they talk. He's
Yeah.
sort of, like, has no idea they're making a movie.
You know, I was a extra in Army of Darkness.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can see him too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really clearly.
Yeah, I did 2 months with a beard, a real beard, and just dirt all over me and everything, and never got in the shot because I didn't care. I didn't want to. All the other extras wanted to get in the shot. I was fine. But then it was over, and I shaved and showered finally, and they called me up instantly, and they're like, "We want you in the studio for like a shot where I would actually be in it." So I had to get spirit gum and
No,
all
really?
the shebang.
Yeah.
And at one point, I was the worst extra because I was just nervous.
It's great. It's really
It's kind of
Oh,
like Pee Wee
yeah.
Herman in the end of Pee Wee's Big Adventure, where he's playing the
looking up at the camera.
Yeah, the guy.
Yeah.
he makes a you make it. He mugs. Dino actually mugs.
Oh, I've got to watch
and then
that
he
tonight.
gets.
Well, here's the thing. Raimi, I think, was talking to Campbell and said, when she comes in, turn to look at her. And I'm a guard. And I thought he was talking to me. So in the shot, you'll see both of us look.
But Dino looks like this.
We've got to watch that tonight.
Yeah.
It's great, but then you get.
And I feel like he got a little mad. He's like, fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then something happens
What do you mean?
in the film.
Oh, well, that's I'm the guard where that witch throws the scalding
Oh, really?
water in my face.
Really?
And then,
Holy shit.
and then I go down and scream, and I screamed and everything, but I guess he got so mad he didn't want to pay me, so they dumped screams.
80-yard screams.
Yeah,
But it's all
Yeah.
part of the same scene. It's great.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's so circa 1992, I guess.
Yeah, 92.
That's the threshold for payment is sound saying something.
I think if you scream, you get a little extra. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Because we've been trying to figure this out with the credits, right? Like
why-
It's a credit thing. It came to a credit.
Well, with this movie, a lot of people don't even get a credit.
Michael
Mark doesn't get a credit in this film.
And he's the father of the little
Yeah, he
girl
has
on
lines.
screen. He's
He
lines.
has
But
a lot of
actually-
lines.
Oh, wow.
Fairly big role.
But that's before the SAG.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess so.
This is actually, we can actually say this is the film that led to the Screen Actors Guild.
Right.
I suppose so,
Like
yeah.
Boris Karloff was
Carlos
one
said,
of.
fuck this shit. This
Yeah.
is not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
And look what it did to his career.
Yeah, it just destroyed it.
Well, it didn't do anything. I mean,
No, it
it's
did nothing
really
to his
interesting
career.
because
No,
he
it didn't.
comes back, plays this role again for the studio, for that director.
Well, he's just so good.
Who hurt him? You know,
Yeah, the guy who supposedly, according to Meg, tormented him and tortured him.
Yeah.
He was more than willing to work with him 2 more times.
Yeah.
He was supposed to work with him on The Invisible Man, and I think I've heard stories back and forth about, Whale didn't want to deal with him anymore, or blah, 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 blah.
To do what?
Everything's-
To do The Invisible Man?
Yeah, and everything's got to be in the soap opera,
Huh.
but I think it just boils down to Claude Rains was better for that role.
Yeah, that's you want a Claude Rains, you want a Vincent Price. That's what.
Yeah, somebody with a
you
really
wanted
rich
someone,
voice.
who didn't lisp.
Yes, yeah.
Kinda.
Okay,
Kinda.
I was kind of trying to tap dance around that, but that's.
I mean,
exactly
you kind of want that for Fu Manchu too.
Fu Manchu was great. It was
Tom just saw that on the plane.
I saw it on
Did
the
you
plane.
ask Fu Manchu?
I wasn't. I shouldn't watch that on a plane. It's a little racist, isn't it?
Oh, it's not a little racist.
more than
There
a lot
were
of
people
racist.
next to him.
Oh, okay.
No, I just saw that myself when we did the
We did the-
episode
yeah, we
about
did the
less than a
bonus.
year ago. We had to watch a bunch of Boris Karloff.
And we had
I
to.
had never seen that one.
We had to.
Well,
It
whatever.
was
yeah.
really hard to do.
Torturous. And that one surprised me because I thought I understood how racist it was just going in. Then I watched it and saw how racist it was, and then it compounded on itself. It built on
Yeah.
it. It's very much
Racist.
that.
Yeah.
But as long as you know that going in, there's a lot to
Well, I
appreciate.
think-
It's actually a really well-made movie with a decent budget.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That
that
first
was-
shot of Fu Manchu and the reflection of that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's got a lot of beautiful scenes and stuff in it, and I love him in that film.
Oh, he's great. And Myrna Loy is, sexy as hell.
He also doesn't do an Asian
She's the
accent.
best.
What?
He doesn't try to do an Asian accent.
No, he
at all.
doesn't.
No.
Surprised.
It's
He just sounds like Boris Karloff.
Well, he kind of gives it that sort of Grinchy spin a little bit. There's a little malevolence to
You
it.
saying the Grinch is Asian?
I don't see color when I see the Grinch. I just see a guy.
Oh,
So-
You don't see green?
you don't see
I
green.
don't see green.
Or brown. Sometimes he's brown. I don't know.
What?
In
A
some,
little bit.
in
A
some
little bit.
versions.
Yeah.
Well, there's a second Grinch.
Halloween is Grinch night, and Hans
Terrible.
Connery does the voice, and he's Hans Connery. You can't hate
He's
him.
great,
But
but
the
Yeah,
cartoon
everyone loves
itself.
Hans Connery. No, we had a big discussion about him the
Oh,
other day.
did you?
yeah.
Well, you played a.
There's
you
a
played
great album, a great Halloween album.
Yeah, you played a track from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that cartoon has no heart. And,
Oh,
but
it's
apparently
true.
Seuss liked that more than the Grinch.
Really? Well, because the
Than the
style
Grinch
was
cartoon.
more like his drawing style.
Right, I
think
guess
that
so.
might have had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because he always said that the Grinch looked more like Chuck Jones than his original.
As
drawing.
yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with that.
It's
yeah.
it's like Stephen King with The Shining.
Oh yeah.
I'm fine with it not being like the novel.
Very fine. Did you see the miniseries one that they did?
Oh, it's horrible.
Oh, it's just dreadful. It's painful to
That
watch.
kid, the creepy
The
kid.
kid is
terrible.
the kid is terrible, but a lot of we were just talking about this because Dr. Sleep is coming out.
Billboards all over the place.
Billboards all over Hollywood of Dr. Sleep. They had to make a peace with the Kubrick estate to use the plans for the hotel sets and everything like that, and I'm sure that just ate Stephen King's heart.
I don't even know what Dr. Sleep is.
It's a sequel to The
Sequel to
Shining.
The Shining.
Oh,
There was a book that came out
Yes.
last year before.
So, probably. But the thing is, with The Shining, everybody loved The Shining,
Yeah.
the movie,
Yeah.
except Stephen King. He
Yeah.
hated it.
Right.
So then he wrote a sequel to it that came out just a couple of, maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, I don't think it was that long ago. I think it was,
But it wasn't too long.
he wrote a sequel to the movie?
No, to his own
his
book.
own novel.
Oh.
And it's very distinctly a sequel to his book and not to the movie because he hates the
Oh.
movie.
Hates the
Because
movie.
everybody hates The Shining movie because Kubrick did such a terrible job.
Yeah, it was
So,
a hack.
yeah, if / sarcasm, whatever. But apparently this new movie that everyone's seen by now, by the time this
Yeah,
episode comes out,
this will air first week of
Threads the Needle.
January.
So Doctor Sleep is a sequel to both the movie and the book.
Is Stephen
Oh,
King in
really?
charge of the movie?
No.
Not at all.
Oh, that's why it's going to break his heart.
Yes, no, he's on board with all of it, and he says
Oh.
it's great. So apparently,
Oh, well, no, but
he
if
found a way to thread that needle where the film clearly they go back and revisit the set,
Overlook Hotel.
the Overlook Hotel, which apparently in the book burns to the ground, but in the movie it doesn't. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, well that's fine. Even if it did, you can
Yeah,
still
you
go
still-
back in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had
It's a
to-
Doctor Sleep minute.
Well, when they what I had read is when they were getting into pre-production, they had to ease him into the idea that you understand people are going to want to see the Kubrick sets in this. You have to be okay with that, and he had to agree with it. So
Hey, man, when the first Batman movie came out in the 90s, 89, I wanted the Batman theme. I didn't get it.
yeah.
I wanted the 60s Batman
Oh
theme.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
very
yeah.
upsetting.
And none of them None of them have ever used it.
Well, that's
at the end of Dark Knight
Well,
Rises. I was really hoping
It was
No.
it was buried in some of the Prince music.
It was
Yeah,
actually.
actually, that's very
yeah,
true.
it was, actually.
But that was on the soundtrack album.
Yeah,
I don't know if
well,
it made
it wasn't in the movie, but
maybe at
yeah.
the end credits or
The
something.
bat dance is.
But
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go a different direction, which is, it's not just you're remaking something that meant something to me in my youth. It's you're remaking my work.
Yeah.
Kubrick is adapting Stephen King's work,
No,
and he went for whatever reason he felt he went a step too far.
King felt that Kubrick went a step too far.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, again, no one else thought.
No
that.
one else thinks that in the entire world.
For example, Kubrick thought it was maybe make a movie about Jack Nicholson's character, which
Yes.
is like, yeah, that's the way
That's a
to
good
go.
idea.
There
Yeah.
must be some purists who didn't.
Oh, I'm sure there
I
are
suppose
some
that's
King
true.
purists who don't like it, but they're wrong. So
Anyway, Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Well, all right.
Rick is pulling his hair out right now.
Good reason.
Yeah, all right. We're at 45 minutes, so I suppose we can wrap this one up.
All right.
So yeah, next episode will be a brand new season,
That's right.
brand new film.
So this was the end.
This is the end of Frankenstein.
Season finale.
I'm
This is
honored.
the season finale, and then
We'll talk about Stephen King.
we'll talk more about King than we did Karloff. But that's okay. We'll dive right in.
Karloff is king.
Karloff is
So
King.
it kind of connects.
There we go. All right.
Picture the theme music.
You just come in right up in the
So now we do a bunch of blow, and then we do.
well, back in the back room. Have you seen the movie Chinatown?
Oh my goodness.